Hello, I'm creating this video today to help you take care of the settings for each of your students once you've decided on what you want to become available for them. So the first thing you're going to do after you log in is you're going to go to the tab that says Manage Students and come over and just click on your roster. In here you can see all of your students that you have, and right now you want to look and see you have 3 different tabs. So you're going to start with the General tab, and then you must select Students. So I'm going to select all students right now in order to have options. In the Groups tab, you can set up various groups. So what you would do is you can go right in, choose the students that you want. You can go in, call them group 2, whatever that you want to do. Right here you can see if this one we created later, group 5 would be selected. You can go in and then just add that group of students. Remember that students can be in more than one group. So you might have a group of students that are together because they're at similar levels. You might have another group together because they have certain skills that they are working on. Now, under incentives, if you click on the pencil, you can have incentives on or off. If you want to customize, these are your 3 options. You can have them where they can build their avatar, RAZ Rocket, or build the backgrounds for that. Or you can uncheck this. You can always do it for all your students if you think it's most of them, and then go in and change the ones if you want it on specific students for any of the settings we're changing today. If you're a teacher that teaches students in K-1-2, when you go in here, there's only 2 options, primary and intermediate. The default is primary. So if you go in there, every student should be under primary. If you're a K-2 student, it's the portal in which they're going to see when they go in. So that's pretty much all you're going to see under the General tab. You have a lot of other possibilities. I'm going to jump actually to the last one. One thing I didn't mention, which was really important, especially now that we're home, you can send a message to all of your students or just a certain students. If you click here, you could go in and you can record yourself leaving a message, or you can type in a message. You can award points to students if you think, oh my gosh, they're going in, they read a couple of books. It would be very exciting for them to get some bonus points from you, and hopefully would encourage them to do more reading or response to their reading. So that was a big one that I forgot to mention today. So hopefully people will get a chance to see that. Next, I'm going to go into Science A to Z. And up at the top, again, I have everybody checked right now, so everyone is going to get the changes that I make. If I go in here, this is, remember, just books for Science A to Z. They're in 3 groups, low, medium, and high. We know all students are not cookie cutter, but the low ones would be more beneficial for most of your kindergarten students, first and second. So if you click on that, that is the one that would be given to them. Science library, if we want to customize that, we can go in right here. You can see that because this teacher is a first grade teacher, it automatically comes up checking all the K-2 options. You can go in here and unclick them if you don't want them to have as many options. Down here, you have many books, types of books. I've unclicked for this first grade teacher mystery file and interactive science lessons. We don't want to overwhelm families, and so I would think those would be a couple you could unclick. The science diagrams, many of you really liked. The focus and career books, files, they would have access to those. You can also, if you wanted to, turn them off and then just especially if you're kindergarten, and then go in and just share them to specific students. You're going to want to make sure, unless you have any Spanish speaking families, to uncheck your Spanish resources and then save and close. So there you've gone in, you've done everything for Science A to Z. Oh, sorry, one more tab. Science in the News, click on that. It's an on or an off. You make that decision. Remember, this is at a much higher reading level. Certainly, family members could go in and read with them, but if your purpose is independence, this is not one that you should share with your students. Okay, RAZ Plus. This has the one that has quite a bit of changes that you can do for students. Again, there's your bubble. You can send them a message. Don't forget to send them a message. So if you go in and customize, here's where you're going to have so many different possibilities. It automatically gives students English and Spanish options. So if you go under Spanish, if this is open and they are not a Spanish speaking family, I would shut this right off for them. Under English, now this is just your leveled readers. So this is where you can go up or down. So if Elliot is reading at a level F, I might want to give her a couple levels down so she can practice for fluency, those books that she's pretty proficient with. And I'm going to give her a little bit of a stretch. So you can go in and do 2 down, 2 up. It's your choice, however you want to do that. Here, your trade book quizzes is you do have some of those for first, second, and third grade. Your choice, kindergarten teachers, you probably want to uncheck that. Fiction series. These are the ones that we talked about. That's kind of nice to get them hooked. And here they've given you a little bit of a guideline as to if there's books in those collections at a traditional kindergarten or first grade level. So you can uncheck those. Graphic novels and humor books. Graphic novels are above most of the students in K&1, but the humor books, there are some nice things in there too. Your choice. Classics, I know John wanted to keep, I can't remember what we did. I don't want to change him on. Classics, I'm going to uncheck him. There are quite a few in there that are above students, more 3 through 5. Your nonfiction, you can go in. These are the ones that are traditional for your K&1 students. Anything down here is definitely 3-5, and your brilliant biomes is definitely higher. Packs and passages, you want to uncheck those, much higher. Down here, nursery rhymes, I would say is a must. Poetry, a lot of the poetry is higher, but they can certainly enjoy them with families. And again, your songbooks, there was only like 1. But again, doesn't mean that they can't read them with families. So it's your choice whether you want to give them exposure to them or if you want to just kind of keep it within their independent level. Early reading, this is where everyone lives in K&1. So there are quite a few here that I would recommend, except for your shared reading, which you're going to uncheck just so you can have those in your back pocket if later on you want to do some shared reading lessons with those books. Ignite are those high-low texts. Wouldn't have those. And popular books, I would check those. So we've gone all the way through. We have those for our students. Save and close. There we go. All right. So remember, we just did that for all your students. Same exact settings for everybody. But if Cameron is a student that I want to change just Cameron's, I can click on him. I can go into his reading room and customize it just for Cameron. And I can go through and change any of these settings. So possibilities to do it for a group that you may have already created. You can certainly do that. Now, we've gone through, we started General tab, then we went to Science, RAZ Plus. Now up here under Settings, options. So right here, I would just highly recommend it right now is clicking your activity report weekly email to you and your skill report or monthly. That's up to you. You can change display student name, first name or last. And where was it? Oh, constructed responses. We want to make sure those are off for most of your students because I don't think at this point you want to introduce to have them writing at this level. You may have a few that you would like to do that, but I think right now this is would be something you would want to leave unchecked. All right, so that is how you go in and you can utilize your settings to make it an experience that is more for each individual student in your class or for your group of readers that you know. So I will be looking at probably doing another training more on assignments in the weeks to come. So if anyone is interested in that, learning more about reports, we'll be working with that one. Thanks.